Hello everyone, this is an update for my low budget Herald stacking Guardian. I didn't have as much free time past few days, so it took me a while, but I finally hit level 90, and so I will show you what are the changes, what are the additional items, and what are the possible improvements. First quite obvious change is the addition of Val Righteous Fire. Thanks to Vitality you can sustain regular Righteous Fire as well as pop Val Righteous Fire for boss fights. This will give you almost 75% more spell damage for the cost of single gem socket. I should have totally added this into the previous update, but I kind of forgot. Now let's go to the tree. First of all, I added Elemental Overload. I kind of overlooked this passive in my previous videos, but it is really good damage for such low investment and you should definitely pick it up, especially on lower levels. I'm not running precision at this moment, so my base critical chance is really low and my multiplier is not increased by any other item. Of course you can go critical build, but you either need Maligar's Virtuosity Gloves, which set your multiplier to 300%, or get multiplier on jewels, passive points, etc. Not only are these ways quite expensive, but you will have to use precision, which takes another gem socket. At this moment I'm using Frost Bomb instead of Precision, so I get extra 25% cold resistance penetration. In the end, the damage is almost same with minimal investment. Another addition is this Cluster Jewel, which grants me 47% chaos resistance and immunity to poison. It is quite cheap and effective way to stack our chaos resistance. You want at least 40%, the rest will be filled with Osiris Promise Flask. I crafted this jewel by myself, but you can get it for something like 5 chaos. Last major addition is the Champion of the Cause, allocated in the amulet. I will also point out jewels like these, which are corrupted for 1% mana reduction. Other stats doesn't matter at all, you can see I'm not even using this passive point. Using 2 or 3 of these will solve your mana reservation problem, and it will cost you something like 5 to 10 chaos per piece. Speaking of mana reservation, I managed to add haste into the build, and I moved Vitality, Herald of Ice, and Clarity into the Blood Magic support. These three combined will have base mana cost something like 63%, and with the help of jewels I mentioned before, it fits just into your remaining life. And now let's talk about some item upgrades. I think the most important one is the Nebulous Scepter, which grants you something like 30% more damage compared to Doriani's Catalyst. I bought an uncorrupted one so I can recolor the sockets, and I looked mainly for the high cold damage row. It cost me 1 exalted orb. You can get corrupted ones for a bit cheaper, but the price difference is not big. Second major item upgrade is of course Chevron Wrapping. I bought this one unlinked for 1 exalt. It has quite nice energy shield roll, and I linked it myself. And even while it cost me 2500 fusings to get it linked, the final cost is still about the same as if you buy it 6 linked. So thanks to current low prices of Oracle fusings, you will most likely get it cheaper if you link it yourself. The third big upgrade is Call of the Brotherhood Ring, which transforms 40% of your lightning damage into cold damage. Thanks to that, with addition of Rimsorrow Gloves, most of our damage is cold. This means we can use sources of cold resistance penetration like the Support Gem or Frost Bomb or Wise Oak Flask, but my resistances are not ideal, so I'm not using it right now. It still should be quite easily solved with the help of jewels. Finally, I changed my main damage setup. It's still Blade Vortex, but I'm no longer using Cast on Channeling in Cyclone, but Unleash support instead. I'm using Cold Penetration support as I showed before, and it is especially helpful against bosses. You can also get this color combination much easily than in the Solaris Lorica. Overall, this cost about 5 exalted orbs, so the total budget is at something like 7 exalts. For future upgrades, you can of course swap big cluster jewels for voices one by one and add another medium jewels. But that would push the build into the expensive category, and I haven't really researched what you can do if your budget is much higher. So if you can farm and spend 20 or more exalted orbs, you should definitely go and look some other and better guide. And now you can finally enjoy the absurdity of Herald stacking Guardian in these several clips.
My mana is spent.
Queen of one and all. Queen of one and all. Queen of one and all. Bow to your queen, mortal!
To damnation with you!
And now I will just address few of the questions that appeared below my previous videos. First common question was about the spell setup, and I'm considering ethereal knives as well. It should be really good for clear speed, but I think it will lack a single target damage of the blade vortex. Still, I'm trying to level it up so I can experiment with it in next few days. Another common question was about path of building. I haven't actually used path of building on this character at all. Instead, I theory crafted all the mana reservations and all the aura stackings in the spreadsheet like this. For the passive tree, you can check my character page on the link below. But if you really need to, I will try to import this character into path of building and actually make it work. So, thank you for watching. I will add several videos how I managed to deal with the endgame, and maybe we'll see in the next league.